All right, everyone, now we're going to cover the video talking about the transpositions and figuring out how do you figure out what scale should you play when you're asked to play a different scale when you're particularly an instrument that's a non-C instrument. So if you're a C instrument, this is really simple. So real quickly, just a reminder, if the question on the test says you are a C instrument, like a flute or an oboe, and you're asked to play the F scale, what scale do you play? You immediately know the answer is F, because C is non-transposing, because you're going to go up 0. So if you take a look over at the transposition chart, this talks a little bit more about the instrument families, the C instruments, the B flat, F, and E flat, and then how many steps you're going to count up in the scale to figure out what transposition you play. C is the simplest, you go up 0, so this is a very simple question. Anytime you see a question that says you're a C instrument, or you're an oboe, or you're a flute, or you're a xylophone, something like that, the answer is right here within the question. All right, so let's go on into some of these that might occur if we are a flat instrument, or for a flat scale or for a sharp scale. Let's say you are a B flat instrument and you're asked to play the D flat scale. What scale do you play? So step 1 is focus on this part of the question. You're going to write out the D flat scale first. Don't even worry about what the instrument is, unless it's C, of course, and then you know, boom, your answer is D flat. But it's not. So we're a B flat instrument. We're going to write out a D flat scale. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then D repeats as the octave. We know that this isn't correct because we have to add flats to it since there's a flat in the name. So what we need to do is add all the flats for a D flat scale. All we're going to do is go back over to our order of flats. We are going to find D flat in the order, and then we need to remember we have to go one beyond to tell us all the flats in the key signature. So D is the 4th one. We go one beyond it, which is G flat. So we're going to add all of these from B, E, A, D up to G, one past it. So first one is B flat, E flat, A flat, both D flats at the front of the back, and then the G flat is last, one beyond. Okay? Now this is correct, and we have the D flat major scale written out. The last part you have to do then is just go back to the top of the question. You're a B flat instrument. Let's go over here to our instrument families. We have to count up 2 steps to tell us the answer of the question. 1, 2. This is the correct answer, E flat. Let's do a different example real quickly for you. So that's how you would figure out all the flats. Let's do an example of possibly a sharp key signature. Okay. Let's say we are an F instrument, and you're asked to play the A scale. What scale do you play? Well, we know it's a sharp scale because it's not a C scale, which there's no sharps or flats, and it's not F because that's the only key signature that has one flat in it. So it automatically becomes a sharp scale since there's no flat afterwards. So what we need to do first is, again, just write out A to A as a scale with no sharps yet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then A repeats. And now we have to figure out how many sharps to add. It's really simple. You could just go to the end of the scale and go one back, and this note should have a sharp on it. G sharp. So we can go now over to our sharps in the order of sharps and count up to that note. 1, 2, 3. And remember, in the sharps, we don't go one beyond. 1, 2, 3. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp. So we're going to put sharps in front of all those. F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. I already made that sharp because it's a half step below. And that's it. Now the scale is correct, and we can now count up. An F instrument is going to count up 5 steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our answer. The correct answer is the E scale. That's what scale they would play. Okay? Last but not least, just as a quick reminder, I'll use this one up there real quickly, but I'm going to erase this. Let's say on some of the questions in the exam, it might say, instead of just an F instrument, it might say you are a French horn. So you would need to remember from your instrument families that the French horn is an F instrument. So that's going to be, again, towards the end of the question, how you figure it out. But just recall that there might be an instrument name there rather than just the F instrument or E flat instrument. All right? If any of you guys need any extra help, just let me know. You can reach out to me through email. Be happy to help. I'm going to try and get these videos posted for you today and send them out to you as soon as possible. Hopefully this is helpful and you can kind of see how this works. Just be aware that it's very important to be able to memorize these groups up here, like the order of flats, the order of sharps, and then this little transposition chart. You don't need to write all this extra stuff like I did. I'm just trying to show you what these numbers and what the letters mean. Instrument families, and then how many steps you're going to count. All right? Best of luck on your exam.